Hello, humans. Welcome back to the F the Lines podcast, the show where we talk about creativity, minimalism, and how to stay wildly functional in a distracted world. I'm your host slash friendly neighborhood extraterrestrial, Andrew Fultz, and in this episode, I'm going to be talking about how I discovered that caring doesn't work and started making more sustainable choices by becoming selfish. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll see you on the other side. July 2007. The first time I visited my brother's farm, I didn't get it. My mom and I rolled down the dusty road to his house in rural Missouri and piled out of the car like characters in a city folk visit the countryside comedy. Is this the right place? Oh, there's Eric. I grew up in an old farmhouse, so the stillness and isolation felt familiar to me, but I wasn't prepared for the implications of staying on an actual farm. Eric and my sister-in-law Joanna were running a local CSA at the time, so as soon as the pleasantries were over, they, quote, invited my mom and me out to the fields to, quote, experience some land management, aka weeding. This is bullshit, I thought. Not since getting math homework on the first day of second grade had I suffered such an injustice. My high school brain could feel spring break slipping through my fingers like Missouri soil. If this is the right way to live, I'd rather be wrong. Through college, I visited my brother's farm a handful of times, and each trip would inevitably devolve into a family melodrama. One time, it was me contaminating the kitchen with ramen noodles. Another time, it was my mom taking a detour to Panera Bread. Then there was Eric being too brusque and Joanna getting frustrated by people disrupting her carefully crafted systems. We were all stubborn peas, and the pod wasn't big enough for the four of us. The thing I never understood about my brother was how he could stand living by such a rigid set of values. I mean, surely going to Panera Bread once in a while is okay. You have to live a little, don't you? When I talked to him, it felt like he was a lawyer dismantling my sources of enjoyment one by one. Not that he ever told me what to do with my life, but the message was implicit. He was so clear on his beliefs, and all I had was blurry cravings. Out of all the conversations I've had with Eric, the one that sticks out the most is about football. He used to be a Patriots fan, and I remember asking him if he was excited to see them play in the Super Bowl. Oh, he said apologetically, I don't watch football anymore. What? I thought. Who doesn't watch football? That's like what you do on the weekends. It was true, though. He was sick of the constant ads and the pageantry of it all and just stopped watching. I reflected on this for a couple of days until Sunday rolled around, and then it hit me. He's right. This is not worth my time. Last summer, I made a lot of changes in my life. I started biking everywhere, avoiding bars, buying organic, and eating a mostly vegan diet. But it wasn't until I reconnected with a high school friend that I realized why. When we parked at Taco Bell, he wolfed down a burrito and then threw the trash out the window. Dude, what the fuck? He shot back. When you eat at Taco Bell, it disrespects you, so you have to disrespect Taco Bell. We're taught to believe in doing the right thing, but everywhere I look, I see people who know what's right and still make the wrong choice. Why? Why do people eat junk food and abuse drugs and throw trash out the window? I think it's because caring is a lie, and they know their individual actions have no significant effects on climate change or elections or poverty. The only other option is selfishness. Yes, I still care about the environment, but what actually motivates me is much simpler. I want to be a better person, and that's something I can control. Every choice I make is a one vote election for the person I will become. When I use canning jars or shop with reusable bags or eat organic, it's because I like how those things make me feel. I like the feeling of glass versus plastic. By simplifying my motivations, doing the right thing becomes natural. Imagine you just got in the car and forgot to grab some reusable grocery bags. Which one of these motivations do you think will be more effective? Number one, if I don't bring a reusable bag, I'll end up throwing out a plastic one, and then the garbage truck will pick it up, and then it'll get dumped in the ocean, and then in 5 years, a bird might get tangled in it. Or, number two, I am not a plastic bag person. Selfishness is kinder than caring because it actually works. Here's a fact that might surprise you. Most selfish people are not selfish at all. You might say it's selfish to buy an $80,000 Hummer instead of donating to charity, but every action has a consequence. Superficial people become miserable over time. They're not selfish, they're just dumb. True selfishness is much more sustainable. When you focus on happiness rather than pleasure, generosity is the natural result. So, how do you go from passively caring to actively changing your life? Consider the following. Number one, figure out what's natural. I wrote a story a few days ago about how to spot unnatural bullshit, but the gist is that the right choice is usually the simplest. Companies and people who are advocating for something unnatural like to talk about more cushion, more support, more money. The natural path to strength and wellness is through less. A few examples. Barefoot versus cushion. Barefoot shoes last longer, increase agility, and cause fewer injuries than cushioned shoes. Cooking versus dieting. Learning to cook helps you understand what you're putting in your body, whereas diet subscriptions are expensive and wasteful. Soccer versus football. Soccer has no commercials. Football games stop every few minutes to ram consumerism down your throat. Number two, make a massive association. In Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins talks about associating massive pain or massive pleasure with your decisions. The key is you have to pick something that resonates with who you already are. If you try to motivate yourself by doing what's right, it won't work because convenience is more practical than morality. Here are a few associations I've made. Plastic bags. When I avoid plastic, it's not because of the environment. I just hate how they look and sound. They make me feel like a trashy person. Fast food. Health is a pretty abstract concept, so I think of fast food as bad pop music. There's no subtlety, it's just dumb and manipulative. Driving. It's convenient to hop in the car, but roads have rules. When I bike or walk, I can go anywhere I want, and I feel stronger with each step. Number three, when selfish doesn't work. I hate cleaning the shower, and I haven't been able to find a positive association for it, but I know it's not sustainable to just ignore the problem. In cases like these, it helps to follow the UGG rule. Whenever you think, ugh, I don't want to do X, so you should do X immediately. I thought about cleaning the shower halfway through writing the last section, and now 5 minutes later, the shower is clean. It wasn't fun, but it was easy. So here's how you can take action with all of this. I used to think of my brother as rigid, but now I realize that life is not about the big picture. When I say no to fast food, I'm not being puritanical. I just want to be healthy right now, because right now is all there ever is. If you stop worrying about doing the right thing and start focusing on being the right person, sustainability will naturally follow. So how can you be more selfish? If you improved one area of your life, how could that positively impact the world? Leave a comment on Medium. You can find the link to this article in the description below. And as for my selfishness, I'm going to try posting a video of me reading through my favorite picture book, Cowardly Clyde by Bill Peet. If it helps me get into a more playful state of mind, it might help other people too. So stay selfish, my friends, and I'll catch you next time.